never. But my heart's been stolen again. This time, hope it lasts forever. We'll go beyond, 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 beyond. It's been a while now since love's been in this place. You see, many have tried, but no one could take your place, girl. Why you so beautiful? I see the future in your face, baby. Never in a million years I thought that you'd be mine, girl. That you'd be mine, girl. Never thought I would fall. No, never. But my heart's been stolen again. But my heart's been stolen. Last forever. We will go. Ooh, baby. We will go, baby. We keep going and growing, girl. The best thing is knowing, girl. Cause when we KISSING, all I can say is OMG. My love in my life, you make all things right, baby. I trust you, girl, with my life. I don't want nobody but you. I'ma put my ring on you. Never thought I. No, never. Ooh, baby. Again. This time, hope it lasts forever. We'll go beyond. We will go so far. Beyond, beyond. You'll always find what you're looking for, and you ain't looking for a thing. We ain't looking for a thing. Yeah, you'll always find what you're looking for, and you ain't looking for a thing. Never thought I. Never thought I. No, never. Ooh, baby. Been stolen again. This time, hope it lasts forever. You hope, baby. I hope it lasts forever, girl. I hope it lasts forever, girl. Hey, 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 hey. We will go, baby. We will go, baby. Ooh, we will go, baby. We will go so far, baby. I hope it lasts forever, baby.
You know, I think I'm gonna really give up this life. Just try to be a better guy, you know. But wait, man, they got a good girl, you know, and they really feel they go treat you a certain way.
I understand. So what's stopping you?
Girls. Some things about kind of resolve. I think I can just, apologize and start fresh and clear the slate, and hopefully, that will work out for me.
Well, if it makes you happy, give it a try. She deserves it, right?
Hey, give you a call and see how it works out, man.
Let me know how it goes.
For sure. Thanks, man.
No problem.
how you doing? Before you hang up, can you just listen for a while? I was stupid, I'll admit it. Should've never done anything to take away your smile. So I dropped my pride, all my cards are laid. I know I hurt you most definitely, and I'm trying to make it right. I wanna take away your pain. Said you need your space and you're trying to live, but I'm really hoping that you can forgive me. I'm wrong, I wrote this song, it's been too long. Forgive me, baby. Baby, please, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong. Don't you leave, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong. So baby, can I come over and show you how sorry I am? I'll make you my lady tonight. Oh, if you want it, put your request in and I'll be on it. We'll make sweet love all through the night. Oh, I didn't know you would pick up the phone, and now I'm wondering if you were alone, girl. If so, just let me know. I wanna plan a rendezvous. Please forgive me, don't turn away. I wanna try again starting today, honey. I'll fight, I'll treat you right. See me tonight, I'll fix this, baby. Baby, please, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong, girl. Don't you leave, this is my apology. I was wrong, I was wrong. Don't you leave, no, no. I was wrong, I apologize. Oh, believe me, I do. I apologize. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry. I am. Baby, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry. I am. Baby, please, this is my apology. I was wrong. I was wrong, girl. Don't you leave. My apology. Oh, baby, please. Ooh, I was wrong. I apologize. This is my apology. I do. I apologize. I was wrong.
Hello.
Hey babe, what you doing?
Nothing.
Can you come over?
Yeah, not easy.
Anybody ever told ya what a woman really is? If you ever get the moment, show them how much they give. You're a shoulder I can cry on, arms I can embrace. Is to hear my deepest thoughts, protect her night and day. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are amazing, cause you have given life. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing. I try to describe. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
You have birthed the nations, a nurturer you are. You You bless us with your wisdom, and you tended every scar. You have found me broken, you have shown me light. You ignited all my passions and loved me through the night. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing, cause you have given life. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing. I try to describe, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are.
To be a woman is to be blessed with unparalleled intuition, to be powerful. Power independent of place or position. To be a woman is to be a mother, giving birth to sons and daughters, ideas, institutions, and business ventures. To be a woman is to be the current inspiration, the future aspiration of a young lady, of a little girl.
You're a masterpiece of harmony, a melody of life. You're a gem, a diamond flower in spring, you're one of a kind. You're a masterpiece of harmony, a melody of life. You're an African queen flower in spring, you're one of a kind. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. So you are amazing. I try to describe, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are, you are woman. You are woman. You are woman. You are. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. You are woman. So you are woman. Hey. And when obstacles manifest as natural, you are born for this.
To be a woman is to be the heart of the system, to be the one who brings life into our world.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I'm your host, Neil. He is your host, and my brother from another mother, Derek. Say again? Yeah. Yes, and we are here with another edition of the live stream of the. No, my brother, how are you doing? Life treating you?
Yeah, man, I'm well. I'm battling a little bit of a headache, but I am here to Panadols, and I am here ready to bat tonight. And yeah, man. How about you?
Well, I'm good. All things considered, I can't really complain. Everything is all right. Well, we here. Yeah, man, just one of them points in here where you just do a lot of introspection, do a lot of show.
Hey, here. You hear me?
Yeah, but yeah, my mic here. Okay. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but yes.
Brandon's. Yeah, let me get my phone close.
That was that.
Step in the way and come back.
Yeah, no problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Senate Podcast. As always, you can like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. You know, we do this thing for you 5 days a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays we do Senate Shorts. Thursdays and Tuesdays we come here and we talk the things to get to the bottom of some of these issues in today's happenings. So, how is everybody? I see Marlon in the chat. How is Marlon? How are you doing, Marlon? Austin, how y'all doing? Yeah, man, the audio pixies up tonight. You know how it is. You know, left alone. The struggle streamers, Derek would call it. But we persevere. We carry on. So how the guys doing? How is everybody? How is everything? As we wait for Derek to come back. Just doing a little last minute set it here. But yeah, man, I want to hear how people doing, how everybody going, how life treating you, how the week going. You know. I want to say, Derek, before, well, no, let me ask you first to tell the people about G-Syndicate.
Yeah, man. G-Syndicate. G-Syndicate6.com. You can check us out there. You can also check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at G-Syndicate6. And then on Instagram, G-Syndicate6 again. But you just got to spell out the 6. You know, we got some intelligent people there, so they can spell 6. It won't be too much of a challenge for them. So check us out, man. Find out all the stuff we got going on. And from what I've heard, our virtual show is almost complete.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've heard as well, it just yeah.
So we looking good, and we should be able to present that to the public very, very soon. So yeah, we just waiting on that, and that's the next thing we got. And then after that, we're gonna crank out some tunes for you guys very soon. I know it's been a while, but you know, things happen beyond our control sometimes, and we gotta kind of roll with it.
Long time coming. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are here. I see Akani Drakes is here. Good night, gentlemen. Cherish, night. How you doing, Cherish? I don't want to say that you were missed on Saturday, but you were missed on Saturday. Yeah. The guy saying the juggling, still here juggling. That's good. Keep the balls in the air, my brother. That's Marlon. Aston, he's vacation. Things quiet for now. Yeah, man. Congrats to all the teachers that are having a little respite as they get some rest. Shout out to Rian. Rian just joined us. No. We are fine. We are good. You are fine. You are good. And you're here watching the Senate Podcast. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, before I get into that, first I want to say that I really do appreciate our audience, people that follow us. I know you get a lot of it. Mine started to pick up now, where a lot of people send us stuff behind the scenes that have nothing to do with nothing that we've talked about before. I don't know if it's people trying to to get our opinion on things, show us up, or to send things in support and agreement. But I love it because it shows that, and it's some of it's coming from women too, and it's showing that, you know, by and large, a lot of people are at least watching and taking in the content, good, bad, indifferent. People are rocking with us to at least see what's going on. So I want to thank everybody that sends me anything, you know, anything we have a back and forth or anything like that. It really is just me or Derek trying to, you know, see things from a perspective of men, a perspective of logic, a perspective of understanding. You know what I mean? And not just trying to push buttons or anything like that. I mean, sometimes we push buttons to have a laugh, but generally speaking, I would say that we don't push buttons like that. Anyhow, that's enough of that. Ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Now, as you know, every Tuesday and Thursdays we come on this live stream to talk the things in a very serious manner. And Derek usually goes on our social media pages, particularly Facebook. You can give us a like and a follow on the Facebook page, the Senate podcast. On that page, Derek would have posted a topic where we could get the conversation rolling, let people know what we're going to be talking about. And this is no different. Derek is talking about Little Big Man. We are talking about what we can learn from Chris Rock's handling of the incident at the Oscars, where he slapped her around the world. And we I know everybody is tired of it by this point. I know everybody tired of the slap and opinions and this and that. Next shoot, I saw some people on Facebook saying, "You busy worrying about Will slapping Chris, but you ain't checking for your neighbor that put in some licks in he woman."
Yeah.
You know, which has nothing to do with the. It has nothing to do with nothing to do with nothing to do with. They're two separate things, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, Derek, over to you, my brother. Let's talk about it. I think there is some merit in talking about how Chris Rock stoically handled what went on at the Oscars.
There is a lot to be gleaned from this particular incident. As a matter of fact, this is essentially a case study in you know, a whole set of the topics that we talk about on this live stream from like tonight, right? And you touched on something before getting to the whole monologue and everything. As you said, you know, we have a back and forth with people away from the platform. People send us stuff and we interact with them and all that. And we appreciate that. We truly do. I think it might have been our last short that we did. Only this evening they had an interaction with one of our regulars on the show. I don't think he's here yet. But there was the one with Sinister Sam and the right. Mm-hmm. And somebody was sent him a message saying that, you know, apparently he responded and said that two men made him the topic of our podcast, and we're very foolish to do that. And then we were getting all the backstory about how he and the woman married, and you know, a whole set of backstory about the incident, right? Essentially saying, you know, that hey, we were wrong to cover it, right? Mm-hmm. And that the guy might have been just having a laugh, and we went into dissecting a tweet and all of that stuff, right? And if that's the case that we misread the situation, that's unfortunate. But much like a reenactment on TV, the names might be changed to protect the innocent or the guilty. So while Sinister Sam might think that we are particularly foolish to take his tweet and dissect it and come up with our own I don't know, our own scenarios of how things might have played out. The names are changed, but the situations are real, right? And unless the people in his comment section, were in on the gaffe, well, clearly they saw it in a very similar fashion, right? So I just wanted to say that those of you who think that we just come here and talk what we ask, and because we got nothing better to do. No, these situations apply, right? And they apply even if a fella might be having a gaffe. A lot of very serious things are said in jest, right? So, to Sinister Sam, if we got it wrong, we got it wrong. And if that's not your dynamic with you and whomever the young lady is, apologies to you. But yeah, we accountable on this page. We are too big to admit that we get a situation wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But what we will say is that the particular situation itself, even though it may not be your particular situation,
Mm-hmm.
I am certain that some man out there can very much relate to your situation that you put out for public consumption on the social media platform, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then can relate to the advice that we would have given based on the scenario that you outlined. So, Sinister Sam, my apologies to you if we got it wrong.
Yeah, sincere apologies.
But yeah,
whom the cap fit, let them wear
let
it.
wear it.
It's
Yeah.
fact. That is
So
a
yeah,
fact.
man.
Yeah.
Let me get into tonight's show. Yeah. So folks, we here again tonight. Yeah. The slap that was heard around the world, right? So very recently, someone came in the chat, Neil, and you had a response to it, a very visceral response. And they made the point that it was wrong to suggest that emotional control is critical in defining masculinity, right? And that person, they posited that controlling emotional responses was one of the reasons why we have so many problems with our young men being able to express their feelings, right? Well, tonight, I want us to examine the two stars of the Oscars a few weeks ago, because they were most definitely the stars. One didn't win a trophy, but he was most definitely one of the stars. And I want us to look at their responses and determine who seems to be winning right now, right? No. Dave Chappelle, right? One of the greatest of all time. He once had a hilarious segment in his show called When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong.
Hey.
Yeah. And all of the skits centered around a person who responded emotionally to a situation, either at work or in their personal life, right? And then they faced deleterious consequences because of their actions, right? We had my girl Brenda, who received a phone call from a wrong number, and she flipped out, and she star 69 the woman and went and lick out the woman car windows and pour paint on the woman vehicle, and only to discover that it wasn't in fact the woman's vehicle, but it was in a federal officer's vehicle, and Brenda ended up in prison, right? Because she was keeping it real. Ended up in prison and being beaten often because she wanted to keep it real in prison too. And as the narrator said, she found out that those women in jail kept it realer, right? There was also the story of the other guy that played by Chappelle himself, who was a corporate raiser and all that, corporate claimer, and he couldn't take a slightly racist joke from his boss. Well, not joke, but a term of endearment. And he flipped out, threw up gang signs in the meeting and all that. Then next thing you know, he was a car wash, fired and all that. No more corporate claiming for him, right? The Will Smith Chris Rock incident would definitely have qualified to be an episode of When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong, right? Since the incident that sent Will Smith into self-destruct mode, his life seems to be in a bit of a free fall, right? He seems forever attached to a destructive woman who made it clear that she felt that he overreacted, even though she had a hearty laugh about his actions. Then we heard that she didn't want to marry him, right? Apparently, she never wanted to marry him. She had a very visceral reaction on their wedding day. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into an article because,
that's what we do.
I don't want y'all to feel that we telling lies or anything like that. So we're going to go into an article from the New York Post, right? And you can let me know when you are ready to go, Neil. This article is from 4 days ago.
On screen.
Yeah. Jada Pinkett Smith never wanted to marry Will, cried at horrible wedding. Oh. Anyhow, let's go on. She says, Jada Pinkett Smith confessed that she really didn't want to get married to Will Smith. In fact, the Matrix actress, that is funny, because I do not remember her as a star of the Matrix. She was in it, but a star, probably not. Now, on the roasting spit of Smith's infamous Oscar smackdown with Chris Rock, and the Academy's decision Friday to ban him from the ceremony for 10 years, admitted to crying down the freaking aisle before tying the knot with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air star on New Year's Eve in 1997. Y'all with me? I see you, Neil. I see you. You with me?
I hear, because at this point, let me be honest. Let me be honest. Right? At this point, right, I've already made my
anything.
Yeah, this woman. Yeah, at some point she will stop talking. At some point at some point somebody can realize something. That's all I can say. Either she can, wait, hold, because enough is sufficient for real, Jada. Like for real. Enough is sufficient. The boy need to know this. Trust me. Who needed to know this? What is this information the public needed to know? Anyhow. Yeah.
Anyhow, she says, I was under so much pressure, being a young actress, being young, and I was just like pregnant, and I just didn't know what to do, declared Pinkett Smith 50 in a freshly exhumed snippet from her Red Table Talk Facebook series. I never wanted to be married. Will Smith needs to burn that table. In the clip from 2018, which has resurfaced amid renewed controversy around her loose entanglement with R&B singer August Alsina, 29. 29. All right, we can talk about that another time. Pinkett Smith candidly recalls her mother, Adrienne Banfield Norris, also known as Gammy, 68, forcing her and Smith to wed after she became pregnant with their first son together, Jaden, now 23. I really didn't want to get married, Pinkett Smith restated. She was seated around the circular table with her mom, as well as Smith, 53, and their daughter, Willow, 21. We only got married because Gammy was crying, a chuckling Smith informed Willow. It's always hilarious that, she says this stuff and he's right there.
It's crazy.
Like he's cool with it.
It's crazy.
Like for me, it had a laugh, but hey, that's just me. It was almost as if Gammy was like, you have to get married, so let's talk about the wedding, said Pinkett Smith, prompting Banfield Norris to confess, I remember feeling very strongly and wanting you guys to be married. The Girls Trip star's mother was just 18 when she became pregnant with Pinkett Smith and briefly married her father, Rob Soul Pinkett Jr.
And how'd that turn out?
Well, there were allegations of, some laying on of hands, let's put it that way. I don't think this guy is a priest, right?
Got you covered.
I do remember wanting you and Will to get married, but I don't remember your rejection of the idea of marriage. I remember the rejection of the idea of a wedding, but not of a marriage. Call her out, Gammy. We appreciate it. Yeah, she ain't got no problem being married. You don't want to get the wedding is one thing, but marriage is saying else. We call she out, man. Don't let she dipsy doodle. Pinkett Smith then recalled being browbeaten into big day submission. And now Gammy done gone to Will, crying about I don't want a wedding, and now I'm being forced to have a wedding, she said. We just wanted it to be the two of us on a mountain because it was like, this is serious business. Jada and Will married at the Gothic-style Cloisters Castle in a suburb of her hometown, Baltimore, Maryland. And despite their picturesque venue, Pinkett Smith and her mom both acknowledged that it was less than stellar. The wedding was horrible, Banfield Norris conceded. It was a mess. Jada was sick. She was very unpleasant. She didn't cooperate with anything. This woman was so against getting married to this dude that she was physically ill. Physically ill. You get my man Jerry Don.
Wait. Give me, hold on, something. I ain't hearing Jerry Don as I would like. So give me Jerry Don again. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Laughing, Pinkett Smith agreed, saying, and I was so upset that I had to have a wedding. I was so pissed I went crying down the freaking aisle. I cried the whole way down the aisle. Conversely, Smith, who in March earned his first Oscar for a masterful portrayal of Venus and Serena Williams' father, Richard Williams, 80 in the feature film King Richard, was positively giddy on their wedding day. Yeah. There was a day in my life that I wanted anything other than being married and having a family, he said during the episode. From literally 5 years old, I was picturing what my family would be. You can go take this L, Will, because guess what? You were married before.
You were.
He gave her promotion. Yeah. Pinkett Smith's visceral aversion to their nuptials notwithstanding, she and Smith ultimately agreed that getting hitched was, in fact, the right call. And Banfield Norris apologized for failing to respect her daughter's protest about a wedding and for being selfish by insisting on a lavish ceremony, owing to the fact that Pinkett Smith is her only child. The re-emerged Red Table Talk tape comes on the heels of more excavated footage from the couple's rocky recent past. Per a 2019 Instagram Live clip, a seemingly annoyed Smith reprimanded his wife for broadcasting him on social media without his prior consent. We showed you all that last week. Don't just start filming me without asking me, Smith in response to Pinkett Smith, showing his face on camera while asking, would you say therapist Esther Perel has been instrumental in you and I defending our relationship? And when the actress dismissed her husband's upset as foolishness, Smith retorted, my social media presence is my bread and butter, so you can't just use me for social media. Don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house. Don't start rolling. So far, neither Will nor Jada Pinkett Smith has publicly commented on the resurfaced videos, right? So
this one won't be Oprah so bad. So bad, this one will be Oprah.
So he's been banned from the Oscars 10 years. Apparently, he's been checked into rehab and all that. He's lost roles, and some work he has had has been put on pause. We got a screenshot there. Let's get that on screen, Neil, if you wouldn't mind.
Which one is this? This is the things that he.
Yeah.
We
get this is an extensive list, right? Things in here that I didn't even know, right? So
okay,
let me know.
You're on screen.
Yeah, Will Smith is devastated. He was banned 10 years from the Oscars ceremony. Her biopic was canceled. Bad Boys 4 is canceled. Fast and Loose movie he was supposed to shoot for Netflix got canceled. The movie I Am Legend 2 no longer wants it, and they offered his role to Michael B. Jordan. He was expelled from the Academy of Sciences and Cinematic Arts. He didn't resign. He was expelled. His wife didn't support him. In an interview for American Weekly, he declared that she didn't ask to be saved and called him exaggerated. They were that spelling there a little better, but hey. His wife's boyfriend is going to write a book where he will be charging a fortune for selling his story. Yeah, we shared that with you last week as well. Chris Rock's brothers are looking for him. They publicly said, we will tear you apart. No producer wants to work with him on any kind of project. His dramatic series Bel Air, reboot of Bel Air Prince, is being smashed by criticism. Apparently, there is a very terrible reboot.
Even before all this nonsense.
Yeah, even before this. He's currently in rehab to control his depression and temper. Yeah,
his anger, temper.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know. You know what?
Yeah.
You might got anger, temper. All of a sudden.
No. Additionally, Harry Lennox insists his punishment was too light and is calling for him to return his award. One emotional response, and Will seems to be going down horse hill with no brakes, and he's taking the bag with him. So let's take a look at that particular article. You got me on screen?
Yeah, you're there.
Will Smith told to return his Best Actor Oscar by Academy member. Harry Lennox doesn't think the punishment was severe enough. Even though Will Smith has been hit with a 10-year ban from attending the Oscars following his slap of Chris Rock at the ceremony held 2 weeks ago, Harry Lennox doesn't think that his punishment is severe enough. He has even called for Will Smith to return the Best Actor prize he won for his performance in King Richard. Lennox is a member of the Motion Picture Academy and Television Academy and is best known for his roles in The Five Heartbeats, Dollhouse, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Man of Steel. In In an opinion piece for Variety, Lennox explained why he is still angry at Will Smith's slap and why he thinks the punishment should have been greater. What did Harry Lennox say about Will Smith's slap? It is little more than an extended timeout for a playground bully, a toothless penalty that lays bare the shallowness of Hollywood morals.
Damn.
It's pretty deep. At this point, the only person who can redeem the integrity of the Oscars is Smith himself. He needs to come to grips with the gravity of the offense he committed. Smith needs to express mail his golden trophy back to the Academy and publicly state something to the effect of, out of respect for the 94 years of honor conferred upon this award, I do not in good conscience feel worthy of being its custodian. Despite Lennox's plea, it seems that Will Smith will be able to keep his prize. The Academy didn't want to set a precedent of taking awards away from actors and directors for extracurricular behavior and instead believed the decade-long ban from attending the ceremony would suffice. For some, such as Harry Lennox, that just isn't enough of a punishment based on the 53-year-old's actions. Right? As I said, when you're down, people just get you when you're down, right? Bill is going down Horse Hill with no brakes, and he has the bag firmly in tow, right? But I went through all that because it was important to show that. Conversely, compared to Will Smith, however, Chris Rock is giving us an object lesson in masculinity. So let's take this look at this article from The Insider. Let's see what The Insider has to say about this. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Chris Rock said he won't speak on controversial Oscar slap until I get paid, report says. Comedian Chris Rock said he would not talk about the controversial Oscar slap until he gets paid, according to the Palm Springs Desert Sun. I am okay. I have a whole show, and I'm not talking about that until I get paid. Life is good. I got my hearing back. Funny guy. Rock said at his show in Indio, California on Friday, per the outlet. Right? When on stage to present an award during the 94th Oscars last month, Chris Rock made a joke aimed at Jada Pinkett's Miss Bald Head. Jada, I love you. G.I. 2 can't wait to see it, Rock said before Will Smith walked on stage and slapped Rock during the live broadcast before returning to his seat. Smith, who later won the award for Best Actor, apologized to the Academy and later wrote to Rock in a March 28th statement on Instagram. He said, jokes at my expense are part of the job, but the joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and he wants to apologize to Chris. On Friday, the Academy of Motion Pictures announced that King Richard Actual would be barred from all Academy events, including the Oscars, for 10 years, which he accepts. And following the Oscars dispute, ticket sales for Chris Rock's 2022 Ego Death World Tour went through the roof. Unlike his brother, Rock has yet to fully address the situation, but during his stand-up show in Boston, Rock made his first public remarks at the Wilbur. I'm still processing what happened, Rock reportedly said. So at some point, I'll talk about that shit. It'll be serious. It'll be funny. But right now, I'm going to tell some jokes, right? My guy, Chris Rock. Now, Chris Rock ain't talking until he gets paid. Now, does anybody think that Chris Rock isn't pissed off? Does anybody think that he doesn't have anything to say about it? His brother, Tony Rock, had an epic rant on stage during one of his shows. And he wasn't the person that was assaulted. But Tony Rock was pissed off. And he made it very clear that there are a lot of Rock brothers and they're going to deal with this situation. Right? Chris sees a bike and he intends to get it. He stands to benefit financially. Very well at that too, right? Between a potential lawsuit, I don't think that's off the table yet. A special on one of these streaming platforms to the tune of millions of dollars. Chris is looking to maximize his earning opportunities from this incident. Right? He may even follow August. I've seen his lead. I read a book
Slap her around the world.
You just might. There's money to be made, and Chris intends to make it, right? He went out on the road a few days after the incident, and he did a show. When the hecklers started up, he even deterred the hecklers. Hey, we ain't doing that here. Yeah. So let down, we can tell some joke. Now, we know Chris Rock is upset. He has to be. But he's maintaining his frame. He ain't keeping it real. It'd be very easy for Chris Rock to go on Instagram or any other social media platform and just blast Will Smith, blast Jada. Shoot. Say we like, though. Get slapped already, you hear me more. You know what I mean?
It's just so if you can slap me for that one, let me see what you
slap
can
me
do
for
here.
something, you
Right,
know?
yeah.
But he's not allowing himself to be caught up in an emotional response and potentially fumble what is looking to be guaranteed money. This is what we as men need to learn from this particular situation. Firstly, most importantly, stay away from women who will allow you to take actions that will have negative consequences. Any normal wife or girlfriend would have ensured that Will didn't get to that stage to do what he did, right? Sure. I don't know about you, Neil, but some of the women that I've been out with, from the time they started to get up, you'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, what you doing? Come out here.
Yeah, just a little tug on the back of your jacket. Your coat tail. Yeah, come back. Where you going? This ain't the way to handle this. You know what I mean? Or if he had gotten on stage, she would have very nicely chipped and come up there in she heels. No, this ain't the way to handle this. Come and sit down. Yeah? It would have ruined the night. Yeah? Probably wouldn't go talk to me for the rest of the night.
But it ain't be all this.
It would not have been all of this. You know what I mean? I would have had to make up for the fact that I embarrassed her by her having to come up on stage to prevent me from embarrassing both of us on this kind of level. But the embarrassment would not have been this, right? She certainly would not have had a belly laugh after they went up on stage and derailed my brand. So if Jada was really in his corner, she would have put a stop to that before he got on stage, right? So gentlemen, stay away from destructive women who will allow you to do these kinds of things, right? I say it before, I've said it before on this platform, I say it again. A good woman is an investment. A bad woman is a bill. And rest assured, there's a bill that Will is forever paying here now, right? Secondly, and more importantly, and this is real crux to the matter here, master your emotions, especially when you have something to lose. Maintain your masculine frame, right? We spoke about it last week or week before, whenever it was, and they said, oh, you got encouragement to lean into the emotions. Yeah, feel the emotions, but don't be governed by them, right? Be governed by logic, not emotions. Am I saying to ignore emotions, folks? Certainly not. I had a priest that used to tell me, I was saying that, Derek, you have to be governed by equal parts emotion and intellect. Am I saying to feel your emotions, process them, and then use your intellect to make the best possible decision you can? Indeed, I am. If you watch the clip of the incident, you can see Chris Rock start to fold his fist. And then he quickly catches himself and chooses a better option. Right? Chris Rock could have kept it real on. Who would have blamed me? You know what I mean? And especially in that particular situation, who would have blamed Chris Rock for responding in kind? And then there's a big brawl at the Oscars. It is very easy to get in our feelings and respond emotionally to a particular situation. But in critical moments, folks, it is more important to be guided by intellect and logic more than emotion, especially when you got something to lose.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are watching the Senate podcast. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Just like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything coming on the pipeline. And let's get into it. No. Right. So, I think it's very important, right, that we acknowledge a few things, right? I know I ain't even talking about Will and Jada, no, because at the end of the day, that we've taught out of death, everybody taught her that. That is what it is, right? What I will say is this, right? I think Chris Rock is being very masterful in how he's handling it, right? Because you don't match that sort of energy. You don't get no any mud with it. It's very easy for another man to shoot. We even said it in this space, you know, if he had retaliated in that space at the same time, then we would understand and say, well, you know, he might defend himself, right? But he was very stoic, he was very professional, and he was very, I don't know if he was shell shocked or if he just decided to say, yo, whoa, that's crazy, you know what I mean? But I do appreciate the fact that, one, he didn't retaliate, two, he didn't make any more big of a deal than it was, and in the days following, he understood that the bike was coming, he understood that he had a tour coming up, so his shows would be sold out. Shoot, his tickets skyrocketed. So the price of his tickets, his brother and his, you know, anybody associated with Chris Rock knows. And, you know, I even wonder, and this is all speculation here, but I even wonder if Chris Rock knew, like, yo, this is not in keeping with Will. Before I retaliate, I mean, this this bad situation worse. Let me kind of pause, pump brakes, and kind of see where this situation goes. I'm not going to press charges. I'm not going to file lawsuits. I'm not going to do anything. I'm fine. I'm healthy. I'm not going to try to pile on a black man that already has, and a colleague, right? Let me not pile on to this man because clearly this is not in keeping with his brand. It's not in keeping with who he is, what I have seen with him. So something awry, right? He may not even be pointing fingers at Jada. He just may say, you know what, something up with him, right? Because let's be honest, right? Movie making, Hollywood, being an actor and having to make such big Hollywood films and being under such pressure to perform and always have to be on, it is not backbreaking work, but it's still something that it can degrade your mental wherewithal and stability, right? So, you know what? At the end of the day, I think Chris showed great poise, showed great patience, and he showed great understanding. And that, to me, is what masculinity is about, right? I mean, of course, we make some of us, well, not some of us, we're human beings, so we make mistakes, right? Will Smith made a mistake, but two wrongs don't make a right, as they always say, you know? So it doesn't make sense compounding a situation by adding on to it, getting on Twitter, making jokes about it, because another comedian would have used that opportunity to do a whole new bit, right? And really made it spicy, and it could be a beef on in the press or in the media or through stand-up or whatever, but what they were going back and forth, right? But Chris understood time, place, and I think that that's something that most people should adhere to. Of course, sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we show a bad judgment. I can very well tell you that if a man walked up to me and slapped me in my face, if Will Smith walked up to me and slapped me in my face, I would be like, you know what, let big cooler heads prevail. I may have reacted in the moment, right?
Yeah.
But kudos to Chris Rock for that. And I think that a lot of people been talking crazy. You know, people, I'm going to get real transparent here. I'm going to get real transparent. No, over the last few weeks, right, this space has really shown, and the thing is, I knew it was coming. I didn't know how it would affect me to this level, right? Where this is a weird space to be in. This red pill space, dealing with this man-woman thing, how we see masculinity as men, how we perceive femininity as men, and having the conversation and the discourse to handle it, right? And, you know, Derek made mention to Sinister Sam. I saw the tweets. Get called foolish. We platform ain't saying nothing. And, you know, people will see that kiki, laugh, ha, 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 right? people saw the thing with Chris Rock. He ha ha ha, he deserved that. Will Smith defended his woman. That's how you defend that. I mean, it is hard. It is hard to keep your composure as either a man or a woman in 2022 with so much distraction and so much. I had a conversation with somebody, as I said, one of our audience members, one of our senators. We got into a back and forth on Instagram. Very respectful back and forth. It wasn't, but it shows me that people would rather do bad and kiki, ha ha, laugh, whatever, than to see merits in situations, to see things and question their ideologies and their thought processes, right? People would rather see a tweet with a man talking for jokes and kicks or whatever. Some people take the content and decide, you know what? There are some men out there that go through this. They don't find it so funny, right? We will get called foolish. We will get called, we ain't saying nothing. There's an endeavor in futility. Other people will come into our space and say, you know what? This is not how you're supposed to be defining certain things. This is not how you're supposed to be saying certain things, right? And again, I don't mind being challenged, right? But sometimes I wish people didn't mind being challenged. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like because I don't think that I'm anybody special. I don't think that, I consider myself the average man, right? I consider myself the average man walking the street. So, by and large, if I could say, you know what, Neil, there are certain things, there are certain convictions you have to hold true to, but then there are certain things you have to kind of be open-minded to and admit when you're wrong. Admit when you've made mistakes and hold yourself accountable, but yet still stay within line of who you are as a man and what you're trying to be as a man and the space you're trying to foster, etc. Right? There are some things I find funny. There's some things Derek find funny. Shoot, y'all should see the messages we share when the day come. The man send me some things. He's laughing and he's be like, Derek, this is not said to laugh at, but Derek's humor is a very unique one. But we are in a space now where people want bad behavior. People want the joke. People want the spectacle. People want the kicks and the ha-ha and the kiki. And anytime you want to bring... There's nothing wrong in humor. There's nothing wrong in doing things and saying things for a laugh. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. But then we still have to sometimes pick sense from nonsense. We sometimes have to look at things and disseminate some level of understanding in things, because some people in these social media streets, some people looking at the Oscars, some people will take this and run with it. Some people can look at Will Smith going up and slapping Chris Rock in defense of his wife as to say, that's how we gotta defend my black woman, or this is how black men supposed to defend me, and they're taking nothing less. But if Will Smith could ruin his career over it, well, who's you as a carpenter, as a van man, as a corporate lawyer? Who is you? You know what I mean? And where does it end? We talked about in New York where a Jamaican immigrant was deleted when a woman, he and a woman had a confrontation. He didn't do anything. The woman thought that he was being too close with her. He's supposed to be observing the 3 to 6 feet. She thought he was a little too close in the pastry shop, and he didn't respond. He didn't react. He just kept it pushing. He didn't engage the woman at all. He was observing the distance, etc. She tried to carry on and goad the man into doing something stupid. He did not. She went and told a boyfriend or a friend, a male friend, and he went and deleted the man. Right? And, as much as sometimes we can laugh at situations, there are sometimes that we got to understand that it's very, very serious. Right? Whether we're talking about Chris Rock in this instant, whether we're talking about Valentine's Days and the unappreciation of men in that space and the expectations of women, I think that everything is a teachable moment. I understand people may think we got an agenda. People may think that we're trying to this man versus woman agenda and everything like that. Again, people, is not. We are not trying to have men being superior to women. We're not trying to have this space be the beacon for men and a rallying call for men to say, you know what, we are superior to women. That's not it. We simply coming from a space of personal experiences, observation, and anecdotal and empirical evidence, where we see that there is something amiss in the man-woman dynamic. So if you want to call it man versus women, if you think that Chris Rock is deserving of the slap, if you think that him getting the bag and Will Smith should carry it further, if you think that Will should give back the Oscar, if you whatever your opinion is on the situation, whatever your opinion is, that is valid. You understand? If you believe that, that is fine. But we are here to tell you that everything comes with a consequence. Everything in this life, good, bad, and indifferent. If Chris Rock want to take a slap, keep him cool and say, money gonna come. I can ride this wave. I can be hot for a minute because everybody want to hear me. He's been in the game long enough to know that everybody want to push a mic in his face now and get his word. Everybody want to hear his tickets to hear what's going on. Keep as quiet as you can so that people will go to the only place and the only source to hear it, and that's the comedy shows. Right? When the time comes, Chris will address it in a personal, informal manner. And when the time comes, I am sure, hopefully, that he and Will come to some reconciliation. You understand? But it frustrates me. I don't know how Derek feels about it, but it frustrates me that I feel that anytime, unless we are going with the crowd, unless we are kiki ha ha pointing and laughing or getting our pitchforks with the rest of them and saying burn Chris Rock at the sake, or you know what, yeah, men don't deserve nothing but a thank you on a Valentine's Day hug when that time of the year comes, but we must appeal to women and appease to women and give them the heights and terraces and the Pandora charms, the panoramic charms, the Panasonic charms, and we got to do all of these things, right? There is no space for men, black men, to talk the things. There's no space. There's no time. Everything must be a laugh. Everything must be a cakes. Everything must be on the right of being woke. And I am tired. I am frustrated. And as I told Derek in another space, and I told some other people, yeah, like, I can just keep it guttural. I can keep it real. Because I can get content regardless of however I bring over my ideologies, however I bring over these videos that I edit, however we bring over this content, however we deliver it, it does not matter. So, with all of that being said, right, I want people to understand a few things here. One, Chris Rock, this is a we have two lessons here. One, how to stay in your masculine frame and how not to stay in your masculine frame. Chris Rock showed us how to stay in your masculine frame and how to be professional. And Chris Rock showed how keeping it real goes wrong, as Dave Chappelle once created in a skit. Right? At the end of the day, right, ladies and gentlemen, you have choices when the day comes. Everything is a choice. You could decide to not deal with certain things. You could decide to coast through life and deal with certain things. Or you could decide to see something as a teachable, learnable experience. If you want to coast through life and you just want to go with the flow and kiki ha ha, go with the flow, point and laugh, get your rallying cry, do the work thing, and get your social currency up, that is fine. But just know that in that world of social currency, it will turn on you if you don't ever fall in line to their beat of the drum. Yeah? Stay in your frame as who you are. Men and women, stay in your frame. Derek and I have conversations all the time because this is not, we don't just come here and talk. Like, we are friends. We want to be better men. We advise each other on certain things. And, something that I'm working on is staying in my masculine frame. You understand? I think that I'm a decent enough man. I think I'm a good enough man. I think that I have certain things. But there are some times where some things are just too much for me because I can't abide foolishness. I'm starting to come to the realization that you not abiding foolishness sometimes means just saying nothing. You abiding by foolishness just means double down on the content you're making. Sometimes abiding by foolishness or not abiding by foolishness is getting your message out there. Sure, our platform is small now. That's fine. I hope that one day we get, Eric knows that I want a large enough platform that we can reach out things, not because of monetary gain or anything like that, but because I think we have a message that's worth discussing and talking about. For example, this situation. There are a lot of young men out there now, and when I say a lot of young men, I really do mean a lot of young men based on what we've seen, that really believe that Will Smith was right in what he did. Shoot, there are a lot of older men that believe that what Will Smith did was right. That is a problem, because you can put yourself in problems. by not standing your masculine frame. Valentine's Day come, you accepting socks and a kiss and a hug and food from a kitchen, whereas you getting over and away above for a woman and she's not giving you anything. You're not holding her accountable. You're not holding her responsible. You're not letting her know that it's not okay. You grumbling under your breath. You understand? It may not apply to the person that created the tweet. That's all right, my brother.
But it does apply.
But brother,
it does apply.
Yeah.
As for all the people that because they all the people that responded and say, oh, look at these two men, whatever.
And that's
all right.
That's fine. But just know that because your situation is going well, my brother, because your situation was just joking and funny and stuff like that, there are a lot of men that don't find it very funny. There are a lot of men that deal with that and it's not only Valentine's Day. It could be Easter, it could be Christmas, it could be Father's Day. Shoot, International Men's Day is a joke. Mental Health Day for men is a joke. And that is fine. If you want to make kiki haha, make light of situations, you just want to post in 140 characters or how many other characters and bring light and levity to life for some people, that's fine. But personally, I think we have to take a stand with certain things, right? There will be a time to laugh. There's an old John Lennon song. A time to laugh, a time to cry, a time to you know what I mean? Anyhow, right. But anyhow, there's a song that says there's a time to do certain things. There will be a time to laugh. There will be a time to cry. There will be a time to stand up for what you believe in, and there will be a time to have to defend and to enforce. Chris is showing you that for him, this is a time to be quiet. This is a time to observe. This is a time to be about your business, because he knows full well that him responding to Will, whether physically or in characters on Twitter or social media, will not bring him the bag. Or at least not in the best way he could do it. I don't know who advising Chris or if this is all Chris Rock, but he is not going to fumble this bag. Why? Because he is going to let his work stand on its merits. He is not going to let this define him. It's easy to let you to create a set on the stage and go and make joke and laugh about it and laugh and kiki and everything like that. That is fine. But you will then be defined by that. And you encourage fans and the audience to bring it up, to heckle you, to talk about it, reporters to talk about it and everything like that. Right, thank you. Turn by the birds. Thank you very much, Ramel. I should have asked the people, man. Anyhow, stay in your masculine frame. I know what's going on, but stay in your masculine frame, right? However, well, not however that looks to you, because there are certain fundamental principles as men and women we have to adhere to in terms of standing in our frame. For men, it is knowing when and where to talk. Something I need to work on. Knowing when and where to talk. Knowing when and where to act. Knowing when and where to let go of things and actually deal and confront situations. I can't tell you how to do it. Derek can't tell you how to do it. We can only give you examples like Chris Rock, other people around the place. Shoot, I talked about it. Denzel and Tyler Perry, they went to Will Smith and say, you know what, Will? That happened. You made a mistake, but you got to press on. You know, we can say a prayer. We can have a little counsel. We can deal with that. I don't know what was said after that, but he recently came on an interview and said they prayed with him, they spoke with him, they had a moment with him, there were tears shed, that sort of thing, right? We could either observe the kiki haha movement that's going on now, the wotivists and the wotivism that's going on, or we could say nothing, or we could say something. Derek and I have chosen to say something about it because at the end of the day, right, even if we got two people come and watch, shoot, even if it's only me and Derek, when the night come having a conversation with one another, right, YouTube ain't closing down the time soon. And we can hope, even if it's one person, watch our content and say, you know what, we're not trying to change your mind. We're not trying to say women down with women, up with men. We just want you to challenge your thought process, whether you're in agreement with us or if you're in disagreement with us. Think, have thought experiments. Be like Chris Rock. Do not be like Will Smith. That's my take. My little soliloquy.
Yeah, man. So yeah, folks. Again, very interesting stuff. this stuff applies, right? I know people like to think that it doesn't, because Neil alluded to earlier, Men's Day is a joke. Even thinking about men's mental health and that kind of thing is a joke. So when you come and you post stuff like this, people look for any little reason to kind of skirt what we're talking about or detract from what we're talking about. Sure, it's like, hey, the platform ain't big or they popular or whatever. As I said, Neil, even if you're talking to two people, we could put the video up, somebody will hear it, right? Because these are things that need to be talked about, right? So, yeah, it might not apply to you, but it certainly applies to somebody else, right? And that is the part that we need to get to. Things need to be said. Certain things need to be said and clarified so people understand. Yeah, it might not be your particular situation, but somebody else, and matter of fact, more people than you want to acknowledge going through exactly what we're talking about. Hey, let me dive in the chat a little bit, Neil.
Wait. Sorry. I love what we do, because as much as people went on this tweet and they're saying what they're saying or whatever, people actually say, you know what, the man dropping some bombs though, some truth bombs. At the end of the day, still the man might got you upset, but man, they out here talking out the ass though. So that's fine. Thank God you don't control the world, Anyhow, go ahead. Sorry, Dad.
But again, my apologies to the guy. And yeah. Aston says, don't put things in public platforms if you ain't want to use. Yeah. Pretty much. People said that we took it out of context and it was supposed to be a joke. Everything is funny. Right? Anyhow, back in the chat, Aston says, you say them things in public about your husband? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Mark Seeley in the crank. Jeez. Big up Mark, man. Aston says, this is hard to watch. Ramel Hall in the crank. Good to see you, Ramel. Always happy to have you in the place. Rihanna says she thinks she was pregnant. That's why she was sick. But apart from that, she makes me sick to my stomach. Aston, she needs to hush. Seriously, hush. Right up. Jesus, he will never live with any of this. Yeah, he probably won't. Tango Falls. Jada and she mother should shut them out. She ain't like Will, but she ain't got no problem with the money. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
There you go.
Oh boy. That's the thing that baffles me, right? I mean, if you don't want to get married to the man, if you don't want to be with the man like that, why you still with the 25 years later? As a matter of fact, why you get pregnant to begin with? But we all know what Tango Fox kind of alluded to it there just now, right? Yeah. Aston says Oprah had a luxurious head of hair, Neil, so as much as she wants to be Oprah. Steve, another case of riches and settlers. He was reaching, but she was settling. Yeah, good night to Tamara in the house. I say bad. Aston says bad is relative. Okay, where did we go? Yeah, but yes, I try. She said a reason that she doesn't care about her bald head. Yes, she did. Said she laughs at it. She should have told Will. Tango Fox asked, did they take the Oscar from the artists who were dealing with children? I see this argument pop up a lot, right? About the artists who were dealing with children and how the more serious stuff. We can only deal with the real situation, right? And it's also more important because, again, in some strange way, we feel that Will represents us as Black people a little bit. It's like when you listen to the news and you hear something happens in the news, somebody gets deleted or whatever, and you say to yourself, she's on bread. I hope they want to be. You know what I mean? One of them kind of situations. And I think we would be we gotta stop looking at other people and saying, well, yeah, but what about them? What aboutism? Yeah, I know I do saying wrong, but what about them? Cat like and dog blood, as the old people say. So because them get away with saying, don't mean that you can get away with it, right? So we gotta be mindful of that as we go forward. Yeah, Marlon says get the likes up. We appreciate that, Marlon.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be a molecule in his mind when he got up and walked up to the stage. It's true. And people argue that she was too small to stop him. No, that's a joke. Clearly, they do not understand the influence she has on this dude. The fact that she gave him an eye roll and he got up, he was moved to action. She could have stopped him if she wanted to. Yeah, Tamara, Chris Rock is a king. He didn't let his emotions control his actions. Extremely professionals. He was doing active damage control. Yeah, that's all he could do. See Justin Clark in the house. You should say goodnight to Justin, dear.
Yeah. Listen, we still there. As we said earlier, sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes we make the wrong call. Listen, we human beings, man. Sometimes we see it wrong.
Just say I marked every person who tried to woman-splain her actions. All of them who reminded us that Will cheated too. Yeah, we hear that a lot, but we can't say with who. We still can't say with who. We can speculate. And they had somebody that up to Saturday. So I had our conversation. I was like, you know what? All right. They say that he had Margot Robbie. All right. Can you say it at 100% certainty that he did? No, you can't. Can you say with 100% certainty that Jada was dealing with August Alsina? Yes, we can, because we heard from Shimo and Hemo. So we got the confirmation there, you know what I mean? We got to speculate about who Will was dealing with, right? Romel says I ain't a Chris Rock fan in the least, but the fact that he hasn't come out and bashed Will weeks after the incident shows a high level of class and decorum that I don't even have. How could you not be a Chris Rock fan, Romel? But anyhow. But they always forget, says Justin, that Will didn't screw his kid's friend. Well, they were vulnerable and in his care. Oh God. Woo! That was rough. Yeah. Will didn't do that. Let's keep it real.
Let's keep that real.
Will didn't do it. There's one thing we can be certain of. Right? Erica is in the crank.
Go to Erica.
Romel, kudos to his team as well. If it was me, rest assured a lawsuit would have been leveled at Will by now for certain. For certain. Justin, Will also didn't use a painful personal relationship experience for ratings at the expense of his partner. He didn't. But Will is a clown and is responsible for his own health. That's a fact. Okay? Erica, I think on the night poor Chris was in a state of shock. Who wouldn't be? And based on his own account on his childhood bullying, he was triggered. It was all over his face. I felt bad for him. Yeah. But I agree with Romel. The fact that he has been silent and has not been on the attack are all commendable. I am happy that some hasn't called him out as a simp. More seem to recognize his maturity. Yeah, it wasn't Chris that was simping. Trust us. It wasn't Chris. I think Raw also got to navigate being a black man that could help take down another black man. At this point, though, I don't think that black man taking down another black man thing coming into play because, shoot, Willie had no regard for he is a black man. Willie do what he had to do. See? Aston says he can be here with the man. We appreciate it, Aston. Rocking with the man, right true.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Straight no chases to the Christmas was on YouTube for 8 years before it went viral. Thought the things people would hear it. Yeah. I know people want us to sing that all the time. I'm not keen at all, but hey. Cherish, keep preaching. People like to live in comfortable lives. Looking in the mirror and facing facts will always be hard, but when we talk more, more person will listen. Thank you, Cherish. Appreciate that. Anton is in the house.
Go to Anton.
It says to today, saw women trying to absolve her of any impact/effect. They can't utter another word up to me about be towards a woman in relationships. No. Justin forgives you, Neil.
I know he would. I mean, it. What do you want me to say? He's not gonna hold a grudge like Chris Rock. I mean, not like Chris Rock. Sorry, like Will Smith.
Yeah. Tango Fox, speculation about men, no facts, guilty. Women who rat themselves out, crickets. That is so very true. Because we had Cardi B, I admit point blank, yeah, drug man. And she said for live for Instagram, she whispered in the corner. She said it loud and proud. She's still walking streets and receiving awards and all that stuff. Had the girls' anthem a couple years ago with WAP. Thank you, Anton. Got you covered. I'd be cool with that. Had a little so women come out of your closet a couple of years, 40 years down the road for Bill Cosby, and that was that for he, you know what I mean? So Chris Brown, he had to bring evidence to support the fact that he did not do the things of which he was accused. Deshaun Watson he beat these charges against him, but then still people still calling for him to suffer some kind of punishment for it. Molly Kareem, whatever her pronunciation of her last name is, she went on a rant a couple of weeks ago or whatever, talking about him as whatever she thought he was. Not to really. Trey Songz, only here recently, got past some allegations against him as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, Justin, that is women's empowerment. That you could accuse somebody wrongfully and be cool with that. You know what I mean? And apparently to talk about anything is not necessarily the best thing to do, Neil. You can't really call out the bullshit as you see it.
No, we can't. Because you see
no Tango Fox. You don't want to hear it.
So you know what? This is like, you know what this is? You know, like when you're in a class. Remember when we were at Queen's College, right? We were at school. And the teacher would not be there. Teacher come in late or the teacher ain't coming at all. Sometimes we were left unattended, right? We would use that moment now to behave as we like.
Right.
You know, we trouble things, we keep a bunch of noise, and laugh in sport. But then there was always that one person in the class that would say, you know what, maybe y'all should sit, be a little disciplined, be a little quiet, and maybe do some work, right? That person was seen as a nerd. That person was seen as not cool. And I find that now, particularly when it comes to social media, that you essentially run any fun. You run any fun. You run any fun. You just coming along. You with the be a little more mindful, be a little more thoughtful, man, stay your friend with women, be a little more feminine, and all of a sudden knows but if you want to do all about yourself, right? And that's fine. I mean, we knew we was gonna be winning a popularity contest while doing this. We knew that we weren't gonna come out as some sort of saviors or anything like that, but it is important, man. It is important because at the end of the day, you know, it's funny, right? I had a conversation with someone about this content a few months ago, older gentleman, and he's into marketing, he's into that sort of thing. And the man was saying, you know, that your content, your demographic, what you talking about?
You're good to me.
Yeah, you know that this ain't an endeavor that can necessarily make you household names, right? And that's fine. You know, I think we're gonna be for we gonna be for we. Was not gonna be for we, sure. But I just think that there needs to be a space. Everybody got a space. Probably everybody got a space, particularly here in Barbados. You could talk wherever you want to talk. You can make laugh and sport your relationship. You can make laugh and sport at men. You can make laugh and sport at women. You could, to a point. You could. There is a space for everybody except for men. Shoot. We talk about men's mental health, right? And there are very many spaces for men's mental health. You know what I mean? So it is again, ladies and gentlemen. It's just it's so fascinating the times we live in. It's just so fascinating. It's just fascinating to me, and it's frustrating because, you know, everything can be a kiki and a laugh until it isn't.
Until it ain't.
Until it ain't. So
because I'm thinking some of the people that think that we take this stuff too seriously, or we take stuff out of context, or we blow it out of proportion or whatever. Yeah, it sounds good. No, because you ain't going through them things, or you haven't gone through those things yet, right? But when you come to a situation now where you find that, wait, I pouring everything into this woman really don't love me like that, she ain't feeling me like that, or in a relationship with this woman and she kind of take what she could get from me and she move on to somebody bigger, better deal. You know what I mean? Suddenly now you can go about and you realize, hey, the Senate men ain't too old men that, you know, they was talking junk a couple months ago or 2 years ago, but now the things they're talking about sound real familiar. And we're grateful for this advice that these men gave me for kind of being able to walk me through some of the things I experiencing right now. So, you need. Things important.
You know what's very funny? You know what's very funny? Every week we come here and they say that the Senate shorts are lighthearted. They're not as serious. We try to disseminate some semblance of knowledge and impart some sort of advice or wisdom. We just ain't want to be kicking and laughing, right? So I find it hilarious, right? You know, it goes back to what we said, but being taken out of context. They can see that one video, and you know, a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you know, we was just gaffing, we was just kidding," but they're going to take us serious, and it's just so hilarious to me because, if you see every short up shoot, not every, there's some that are a little serious, but if you think that we are serious in our shorts, we got a week of shorts. Like, it's just hilarious. It's hilarious because if you ain't going with the crowd, you are anti whatever. You weird and you strange and, you know, misguided and, you know, all sorts of things. And it's just interesting to me because we can't have a laugh off of you laugh. No. And then we can't come and bring it home and talk about some talking points. You think that man or anybody from that day watch any of our other shorts to see that? Or these shorts here a little. All right. Nah. No, they don't.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Anthony, I saw that she's apparently on a girl's trip. But yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy in the house, so she got things to do what she want to do.
But
that ain't trick.
But it's fascinating, people. Like at the end of the day, do what you want to do, right? Just know that every action, everything that happens in life, there will be consequences. Yeah, whether you choose to take stock of things or you don't choose not to take stock of things, you choose to laugh at everything. The point is that this space is whoever wants to take part of this space. Whoever find joy in our content, as I say, it could be two people. That's fine, right? But if you can watch the men and criticize the men and judge the men on one video, just as we did on one tweet, then that's fine. Two wrongs, I guess, make a right in this instant. That's sarcasm, because I know some people think we weird. But at the end of the day, it is important to have these spaces. So, allow we know.
Yeah, man.
Allow we know.
Or not. You really got to.
It's true.
Tamara says men's mental health is literally a matter of life or death. So thank you for creating a safe space for men. We appreciate it. Thank you. Anton says facts. This is definitely a needed space for real talk. Yes, we appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. And again, topic of the night: stay in masculine.
Stay in masculine frame.
Because it'd be easy to come out here and again have an emotional response to things that were said under the tweet from the guy. It would be. But no. Nah.
We take accountability, take responsibility. Yeah. We were wrong. That we got his situation wrong. But right. There is still merit in discussing that instant. So
right. So yeah. Back to the topic at hand tonight. gentlemen, there is no good that's going to come from you acting out on emotion. Nothing. No good. Yeah. Sure. I could find Keisha there so for that one quick. Sort out quick. Yeah. There is nothing good that's going to come from you just acting out on emotion. Be ruled by your intellect. Yeah, and let that deal with how you process your emotions and act on your emotions. You can't just be like, yeah, let me fly off your handle and got you vexed or you upset. Let me just fly off your handle and do what you feel like. Nah. You feel emotions, nothing wrong with that, but be guided by your intellect, your logic. That is man's strong suit. Logic. Yeah. If you're going into an emotional thing, nah, it don't work well for us. We have different consequences as men.
Different parameters for men, boy.
Yeah. So be careful with that, guys. Man, researching this Ben Shapiro version of WAP. I don't know if it's a good idea, but
so you know Ben Shapiro, he's very the way he brings over things is monotone and quick. So he read the lyrics to it. Because he and that's and you know, of course, as the internet does, some people took it and put it to the original beat. Right. So it just how he delivers it along to the beat is quite funny.
Tango Fox, I've known many older men from young, and listening to them has prevented enough nonsense in my life. That's a fact. I've lived through that. When I was 17, I was singing with a group called Goodwill Singers, and the men in that group, the closest in age to me is, I think, like 30 years my senior or something like that. So I've always been in those kinds of environments to receive stories and knowledge from older men. And it has protected me from, it ain't saved me from all, but it has protected me from a lot of nonsense. So it goes back to what Ramel would have said earlier. Who's in your corner? Who's on your team? Who are the people around you to be able to give you advice that you can then pull from in order to, that's why it's important for men to be around older men and receive knowledge and advice from older men, right? Iron sharpens iron. So when you go up there and you just flying by the seat of your pants, you can get flying by the seat of your pants results. So it's important. Yeah, we the old man now. We two big men, does it say? Two old men. And they worry over me. But that's fine. Check back in 2 years, 3 years. I'm guaranteed that you can need some of this advice. Romel says, correct. The voices of reason are always seen as wet blankets. Yeah. And yes, it was that person in class keeping it calm while everybody was welding. I'm trying to remember if it was you. But,
I know I wasn't one of the voices of reason.
I know, sorry. They got the QC4 A5 crew for real. For real. Saw news in Benware, a man in his 60s was found hanging today. Yeah, man. That's
But listen, I guess this is a good way to talk about things, right? So far for the year, right? We know about a few instances of self-deletion, right? And it is starting to get, there were about 2 or 3 incidences where it was in our circle of friends, right? Like somebody knew somebody, was friends with somebody.
6 degrees of separation.
Right. And it kind of, I don't want to make it seem like it touched us personally, but it affected some people that are very close to us, right? And, you know, there are certain things that are being talked about, and there are certain things that are not being talked about. Mental health for men and the pressures that men go through is something that is often seen as nothing to talk about or even laughed at. You want to talk about the pressures of men, well, you know what it's like to be a woman, or you want to talk about pressures of men, and he's got to do this when day come, and you know about the pressures of men, suck it up, buttercup. But yet still, in another breath, people can come with these nice quality memes and quotes, usually under a half-naked woman of some kind. But it's going to come and it's going to say, you know, you don't know what it's like to walk in another person's shoes, walk a mile in somebody else's shoes, and then, you know, I find we pull out certain facets of emotion when it serves and suits us, right? Not saying it's a good or a bad thing. I just say sometimes it could be used to be weird. Yes, that's the word, like weird, right? Because men are, there are instances of men self-deleting self, right? Meaning that it's not a epidemic, it's not,
Right.
it's not something that's happening in mass, but by the same token, we have to ask ourselves why men in their early 30s, why men in their 60s, men in the prime of their life, or men that would have seen the better part of life, where they're choosing that particular time to self-delete, right? There is there's a friend of mine. She is a psychiatrist. She has the Barbados Association of Psychiatrists or something like that. They're having a month of talking about mental health, talking about certain things when it comes to pandemic and everything like that, right? And it doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to mental health. Period. This men, women, it doesn't matter. People don't talk about. Sometimes you need to disconnect from social media. Sometimes you need to go to a therapist. Sometimes you need to exercise just to get your mind focused on something other than what's going on in your life. But people don't talk about these things because we want to laugh and kiki and put jokes into characters to get social currency. That is fine. By the end of the day, unless you somehow has transcended the human experience and become something more self-aware than any of us can ever imagine or dream of, you will have the ill effects of mental health at some point in your life. I ain't saying this because I wish him bad on you. This is a fact of life. This is part of the human condition. With that said, we have to have conversations for mental health and for men specifically. Because at the end of the day, men are seeing it as a viable option to self-delete. Man, that should not be an option at all. Should not be an option at all. I know sometimes life just hit you hard. Sometimes you'll be going through things you can't see a way out. Sometimes you've made a bad decision and you don't want to face the consequences, or you've made a bad decision, you can't live with the results. Or sometimes you made a good decision, but the pressures of that are causing mental anguish on yourself. Sometimes you may have had a roadmap for your life and nothing work out in your life, right? The point remains is that self-deletion is not an option. The first thing that you should do is talk to someone. I know that we men ain't big on talking to nobody, right? If you don't want to talk, take a moment to get outside, go outside, put your bare feet in the ground, mud, dirt, sand, it don't matter. Find yourself reconnecting with nature. Talk to someone. I would recommend a professional. Talk to a priest, a pastor, somebody that you trust. If you don't want to talk, you can write. If you don't want to write, you can find an old hobby that you were really good at that brought you peace and tranquility. You could take a moment to look around you and say, okay, these are things that are not serving me at this moment. I need to step away and maybe take a break from certain things. But self-deletion is not the answer. And we, as two men that are telling you, two weird men, two strange men, we are here to tell you at the end of the day, is life. It is life. It is your situation is not unique to you. That's not to downplay what you're going through, but that's for you to see that there are people and spaces that you could talk to. I am encouraging everybody here, right? You're taking care of yourself, hopefully for the best of your benefit and everything like that. But I am encouraging everybody here to encourage somebody that you know that may not be acting right or going through something or not being a normal chipper self, or moving a little out of their mental makeup, moving a little strange. Take a moment to either advise them, to talk to them. Shoot, you ever go talk to them? You could listen. You ever go listen? You could say, look, bye-bye, we're gonna do something here or something like that, right? Because at the end of the day, self-deletion that's not sexy, it's not fun. You see, that's the wet blanket. That's the voice of reason. That's nothing that you could put in a 40 character for Kiki and retweets. No boy don't retweet black men's mental health. We retweet that. No.
What check it out there?
Right, but that is all fine and good until you know somebody that going through it, or you yourself going through it, and you having dark thoughts of doing something to yourself that you shouldn't be doing. You understand? So let us start to normalize men's mental health. Let us start normalizing men talking and speaking from a space of intention when it comes to their mental health. Let us encourage, because at the end of the day, men start to talk, because right now it's mainstream for women to talk about mental health. Imagine if men start to talk about it, but that could only bring a bit more relativity to each other. That could only bring a bit more understanding between each other. You understand me? Because then it shows just now that we are people too. And at the end of the day, you know, the human experience is, yes, it looks different for depending on who you are, on your gender, your sex, and everything. That, but at the end of the day, we are all going through it at some point, some form or fashion. So I really do hope that, you know, whether you look it up on social media, whether you get the conversation rolling with a close, trusted friend or relative, whether you seek professional help, whether you exercise, whether you take stock of what's going on in your life, whatever you decide to do, it is far, far better than you taking the termination of your life into your own hands. Far, far better, because you have loved ones, you have people around you. You will be missed. I know some, because I could talk from experience, right? I could talk, but sometimes you say, look, I could do this thing. I can self-delete, get rid of myself. Yeah, people gonna cry and people gonna feel a ways, but they ain't gonna get past it. They ain't gonna dead off soon anyhow. And life gonna go on. The world gonna still rotate around the sun. You know, the sun gonna rise in the east, set in the west. You know what I mean? That will be so until human history has ended and gone. But I am here to say at the end of the day, for me, I started to think of it from a sports analogy, right? Always believe you got a dog in the fight, that you got a horse in the race, that you got a chance to at least succeed. And checking out, taking yourself out of the game or giving up on the competitive aspect of it, just in something that I can relate to in sports. You know what I mean? Like, we've had instances with athletes giving up on the team and wanting and demanding trades, and you know, no, Derek, this is not that moment, nor time or space. I know you want to go into it, but it's not a LeBron segment, right? But at the end of the day, you gotta find your reason. You gotta find your reason to wake up in the morning. A lot of us don't have that reason in the morning. That's why we do things like drink. That's why we do things like abuse drugs. That's why we do things like fornicate a lot. That's why we do things like get onto social media and kiki and haha, because we have no understanding of how to deal or handle life with that. Not all of us, some of us, because you know, I don't want somebody come and say, oh gosh, because I put on Twitter making jokes mean I got my life together. No. I just say whom the cat fits. Hit dogs is holler. So
That's a funny statement. I can't use that.
Was that hit dogs is holler?
Yeah, I can't use that statement.
Well, I can't even say hit humans is holler because Chris Rock said nothing. Anyhow, y'all get what I'm trying to say. Sure, if we go move into a space of being the wet blanket, if we go be the man, the people to come and put a little dose on the fire and say, all right, that fire too hot, or we're talking foolishness or whatever, so be it. But at the end of the day, we believe there is some merit to what we're saying. We do believe there is merit in this space. We do believe that we're onto something, whether we taking a laugh or we being serious. So, you know what? Ain't for everybody, and that's all right. Twitter ain't for everybody.
Quite all right.
Twitter ain't for everybody. That's all right.
Yeah, we got. Before we get out of here, let me just share a little bit of levity. Say you one day need you can put on screen. Yeah.
I love it. All right, let me get this on screen here.
Yeah, get this on screen. Folks, you've been watching the Senate podcast here on YouTube. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to ensure you don't miss anything. We got 346 subscribers. Let me see if we can get to 350. Today's Tuesday. 350 by next Monday should be pretty decent, I believe. So we should get that done. So that would be fantastic. So let me see if you can get that up. Yeah.
But you know what's hilarious to me? Before we share this, because to me, I find this levity too. You know, the video that we put up yesterday is at 600 somebody views.
All right, well, we should keep talking then.
The man shared the link in his tweets and everything like that.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Thanks. Anyhow, let me go to this here. You are on screen right now, my brother.
So KFC had a nod. Thanks to my man Marlon Miller. Our spicy chicken sandwich hits harder than Will Smith. Yeah. Everybody is having a laugh. at Will's expense.
You know,
Everybody.
you know. So let me ask you a question. Because it's marketing, I mean, this could be Photoshop. Because, you know, sometimes we take things too serious, but this could be Photoshop. But at the end of the day, I wonder. Well, I guess Will could do a cease and desist on that, right? Yeah, you.
Probably could.
Yeah, but.
Probably could. But
May you play country games.
Shit.
But he's calling my
Martin
Martin
Leviticus. Get ready.
Martin
Leviticus more. So they want to get me to play country games. But yeah, see if you're watching this podcast or you subscribe, hit the notification bell. We got another shot for you. Feel free to broadcast that one as well.
Yeah,
we don't
share
mind.
That one too.
We certainly don't mind. Stay your masculine frame, guys. Stay in your masculine frame. Nothing good comes when we as men act out of emotions, purely on emotion. Stay in your masculine frame. Do what you gotta do. We don't make up the rules. We just make sure you know what they are. Yeah, you can ignore reality all you want. You just can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. That's going to be very important. Trust me. But anyhow, be the best version of you for you. We are going to see you all guys again very, very soon. Be safe out there. See the numbers back up at 500 and something. So remember.
Wait, you got to play that game. You got to play that game. Hold on a minute, man. Wait. Can't hear that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep it trucking, people. Be safe and love.